What else to talk about? EVO's in 3 weeks. I'm reffing pools. I'm playing in 5 games. Okay, let's go count those games. I'm playing in Street Fighter 6, Tekken 7, King of Fighters 15, Guilty Gear Strive, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Those are the 5 main games I'm playing in. And if there's a BBTAG side tournament, sick, I'll play in it too. I'll go 2-2 in that as well. Let me get it. Last year I played against. There was someone who was using Narukami Izayoi, and I let them beat my Izayoi, but then I beat them with my Lin 18. And then after that I played Koji. That didn't go so well. And then in losers I played up against someone who was using. Was it? I forget if it was. It might have been Jubei Yumi or Weiss Yumi. No. It was Teddy. Was it Teddy Yumi? I think it was Teddy Yumi. I forget their name. All I remember is that during the tournament, Kiyomi kind of aided in he like had his Jubei doll kind of flying around, and it got into our play space, and I took a few free hits. So like, let me get that. I ain't pausing. I'm trying to make it a bracket here, man. Oh man. I mean, I just try to make it into these tournaments. The only thing that I wish could be better was that I knew which Wednesday exactly it was on. That's the only thing. I think so far they've been doing pretty good. They've been pretty good about like communicating within the web space. I'm so far ahead. What the heck? Where's everyone at? I'm waiting. uh, this is RoyalFlush talk hour here. While I'll wait for match. I'm waiting on a match who's waiting on a match. I guess this is see, BBTAG's special. This is the only way you're gonna get me to talk this much when there's nothing going on. If I got Trek to Yomi going on, or if I'm just gonna be dancing to Dance Dance Revolution, I'll be just complaining about the charts, or I'll be complaining that the camera's too zoomed far out. But with BBTAG, there's all sorts to talk about. Nothing's going on. But yeah, what do I have to look forward to this EVO? Let's talk about EVO. We can make this the EVO video segment, if I so choose. So I already told you what games I'm playing in. I said I'm reffing pools. There was a buff to reffing pools this year. Oh yeah? Well, not quite yet. They have to face Grain Room and Woe 90 first. Unless they are not here either, and they just got advanced as well. Okay, Woe 90. Can I watch a match here? Is there a source here? Is there BBTAG on demand here? Yeah, I'm in Marvel 3. Yeah, that's what I should consider. What are the games I actually want to take seriously for the main games? I am a for sure Pop Monster in Tekken 7. I'm a scrub Anji in Guilty Gear Strive, so those are about the same. But I think I'm even scrubbier in Tekken, so if we're talking about the totem pole here, Tekken 7's at the bottom of my totem pole. But as far as watching the games, I love watching Tekken more than any other fighting game. Somehow. Somehow that's just has remained fact, okay? So there's that. But as far as tournament experience goes, Tekken 7 is my worst game. Guilty Gear Strive, I could actually get in a few wins if they don't know the Anji matchup. And 2, I just happened to be playing well. I actually did well in Guilty Gear Strive at EVO Japan, so I think I went, was it 2-2 or 3-2? All I know is I lost to a test. No, I beat that testament. I lost to a. I for sure lost to a Ragna player. I mean, not Ragna. Soul bad guy. Guilty Gear Ragna. I lost to a Soul bad guy player in losers, and it might have been a Kai player in winners. I forget. That sounds about right though. Okay, so I would guess Guilty Gear Strive and King of Fighters are kind of like commingling with mid tier. Like I can play the game, but don't expect me to make it to like very far. Okay, so there's that, and then now that leaves Ultimate Marvel 3 and Street Fighter 6. So Street Fighter 6 I have not really been playing much, but I use Honda, so I have that under my belt. I am platinum. No. I'm still diamond rank. I should get some more Street Fighter games in today. We'll see. Let's see how we go and ramble through this first, okay? We played through all the BBTAG ESLs. Have a good time. Yeah. And then there's Marvel 3. That Marvel 3 actually falls into the same realm as BBTAG as far as like games I can actually play without practicing and still end up doing well. But the only difference is Marvel 3 has so many sharks. Whereas BBTAG has sharks in it, like in these BBTAG ESLs, good sharks. But Marvel 3 has twice the lifespan. Actually, wait. So Marvel 3's been around since 2011. Yeah. 2011-ish, basically. Let's call it Ultimate Marvel 3 has been around since 2011. So it's been around for 12 years versus BBTAG's 5. So it's got a little bit more than twice the lifespan of BBTAG. So in that time span, there's been all sorts of like kind of like I started in the beginning, so I mean I did pretty well in the beginning of the game, but as the years went on with the game, some players that maybe did okay ended up becoming real beasts later on and are still beasts now. So hey, that'll be cool to see. But believe it or not, that might be my best game for me to do well in at EVO for not practicing. So I think it'll be cool. I'll wear my Thodok shirt the day I play in bracket just for nostalgia. Yeah, that'll be cool, right? But yeah, what about Street Fighter 6? Oh yeah, I'm using Honda. I'm just gonna hit medium punch, maybe do target combo a few times, show them my safe jumps, and Oicho grab. That's how I play Honda. My Jamie is not EVO bracket ready. As far as reffing brackets go, did I mention that they buffed the pay from 25 a bracket to 30 bracket? Spilling the beans on the tournament bracket scene. Yeah. So I need to run a minimum of 3 pools to get $90 and an EVO ticket. If I can run more than 3 pools, that'd be cool, but I'm not gonna hold my breath because I want to still hang out and do shit besides run brackets. As much as I like running brackets, 3's my only 3 brackets plus EVO ticket is my minimum requirements. The same as getting top 8 in these is my minimum requirement. If I can do more, sick. But if not, also sick because I get to play more DDR and maybe chat it up with some people or whatever. Oh yeah, and the food, yeah. Because who knows if I'll leave the venue again. Yeah. Yeah. I bet you someone just been... Oh no. I was sleeping in the lobby. Let's get out of here. Oh yeah, here. Well, that's my EVO spiel. If you have any more questions or concerns about EVO, you come ask me. Oh hey, what's up? What do I think on ESL tournaments? Okay, let's have a discussion. Maybe. I think they're fine, honestly. It's just the thing is, not a lot of people know how to run like their part of the bracket. Okay, so I'll give you an example. You can see here, there's that guy who's waiting. His name was Zao Lionheart. He didn't know that his opponent wasn't there, so they may have thought he wasn't there either. So they gave Kairel Renito the win, even though he's not there. So this is normal. Honestly, this is totally normal. So what I learned later on down the line is that you have to use the web browser. So that's why I use my streaming knowledge to my advantage. So I can screen cap the wins and losses and then send it straight to where it belongs to on the ESL Pro Test, okay? I'm just checking to see that our guy here is moving things along. So I've done this many times before, so I know how things go. Okay, there we go. Good. So I should be playing Marku God real soon. Kyrell Renito. Yeah, you see? It only took a while, but yeah. Kyrell Renito hasn't been on for 2 hours, so this should advance things. Okay, so it looks like Woe90 played Yamino Katamari already. Hey, alright. But yeah. Are you planning on entering ESL tournaments yourself, Roberto? Because they run it for other games. I made a video about it a month ago saying, here, we're already here. How about we make the same video? I'm not going to make the same video, but here, we'll go and check it out. We'll check out other tournaments together, okay? That's fun. So we go to games. And you see all these games here? These games have events that go on for them. They may not all be ESL, but we're going to look specifically at the fighting games, okay? Oh, they have Diablo? Okay, that's something different. They have Moron Combat, Tekken 7, Dragon Ball Fighters, Street Fighter 5 with the V, BBTAG, Under Night and Birth, DNF Duel, which just got, what, a patch and DLC, and Strive. Wow, only 4 people? So, honestly, as long as you make it into the bracket and you know what you're in for, they're pretty decent tournaments. I mean, web tournaments are way more common now these days. I've played in more online tournaments than I have any offline tournaments at all this year. Combine EVO Japan and EVO regular, which that would be, what, 2 events. Did not go to Combo Breaker this year. I don't even know if I won any Game Realms tournaments this year. I may have gone to 1 or 2. The heck? I played in more ESL tournaments than I have off. Okay, I did play in 1 offline tournament. It was at what was that place called? Game Labs. Yeah. So I mean, if you can deal with, you know, online tournaments and contacting your opponent and screen capping your results, it's really not that bad. I just like making sure things roll along smoothly, because what happens is the people that know what's going on, they will start to hold the bracket up, and then they might actually get eliminated by mistake. I used to report wins as like they didn't show up, so I would still, even though I did win, but then like, yeah. So always make sure you report properly. So what I do though is you go to the ESL website. I guess I can go ahead and show you a quick example. So this is what the ESL website looks like, okay? I make you put in a request and you open up what's called a protest. And that doesn't necessarily mean that there's a problem, but it opens it up so that you know that you have a match and your opponent will also get notified, and then you can put the match results in here, okay? This is almost kind of like a how-to now. So you find the ESL tournament you're playing in, you put in a protest, and then just continue the match like normal. And then you go and after your match is done, you get the results, however the game can show you the win-loss score. And then, yeah, that's that. Yep. Yeah, basically. Yep. Have you played in any of these before? Is that what you're asking? Because I am more than happy to help you. So yeah, I put there my score. It says, usually it updates on the right saying who I'm supposed to be playing up against. So I'll refresh it. And then I should be playing Marku God. But yeah, I will go ahead and tell him now. Just tell him to DQ. Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thanks for chatting it up. I like to know that my viewers are alive and well. Thanks. Do you play BB Tag?
It's showtime!
Thanks. Really appreciate that. Thank you for following. Do you play BB Tag or you play something else? Because believe it or not, this is actually one of my main games, even though I don't really practice it all that much anymore. I literally only play BB Tag for these. I've stated that I'll keep on playing in these as long as they continue to happen. So But I mean, oh, okay, you used to play Apex. I think they saw some Apex on there. Let me go and just tell Marco God to tell him the DQ. Let me go put this away so you don't have to see what message I'm about to send. Cool. Oh yeah, I was gonna look at the tournament games. I think it did have Apex there, but it might be for like some sort of event. Apex. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I was gonna look up events. No. Events. And then we go to games. Oh yeah, there you go. Apex Legends. Oh yeah, you see? So it looks like this is some Open Series Cup 3v3. So I guess you gotta find 2 of your homies to play in as a. Okay, this is. I don't know if this is ESL per se. Let's go ahead and read the rules. I don't know anything about Apex Legends, by the way. An 8-week competition offering players a chance to win a share of 10K in cash and PS5. Wow, you can win yourself a PS5. The circuit ends with a massive broadcasted final, which you reach by earning points in weekly qualifiers or joining bi-weekly 2 mini tournaments called Slay Days. Players can sign up all weekly qualifiers and Slay Days to accrue points. The first 400 teams with 100 points or more. So you gotta find 2 homies who play Apex Legends and you gotta get 100 points, okay? When is this one? This one's tomorrow. When's the next one? Friday, and then when's the one after that? Next week on Thursday. So you got this week, Thursday, Friday, and next week Thursday to play. And then this one. So hey, yeah, cool. So yeah, if you decided to play on Apex Legends, good luck with that. I know nothing of the game, but yeah, there are other tournaments too. I think it's nice that there are tournaments for us other games that have esports-like qualities, you know? I mean, I'm all about fight games, but let's see. This is a 600-man tournament with the same 500 prize pool, right? That is a lot of people, man. You can play in the same prize pool with so much less people, like playing BBTAG. Or Under Night and Bird. So, I mean, I get it. There's a lot of people, but literally, I'm more likely to do well in a smaller tournament than I am in one with a ton of people. Just talking realistically here, okay? Let's see if we have that tournament match now. The BBTAG the way it is, I'm not saying it's like, I don't really think it's going anywhere, but like, you're still gonna run into the same players. I run into a lot of the same players in these. So like, if I had to list off the top of my head who I run into on a fairly consistent basis, it's basically, well, it's a Lover of Puns when he decides on a team. Yamino Katamari when I run into in bracket. For some reason, I actually don't get paired up against him in bracket very often. Master CJ. Master CJ. Wo90's a regular as well. Who else down this list? Tecto's actually a regular, but they just didn't show up today. Who else we got? Pac Monster, regular, yes. Who else? There were a few other surprise names in here that I was surprised by. Hoshitensu, also regular. Green Room, also regular. So Marco God must be up and coming. That was a cool team. It's not often that you run into the what do you call it? Weiss Yumi. That is not a, while I think that's actually a good Yumi team, it's not a common Yumi team. It's just one that I think is good, and I think I know is good. But yeah, what I was getting at, yeah, I run into the usual suspects, and none of that's a bad thing. I think when in a natural game's lifespan. Um, here's a given fighting game's lifespan. It can be any fighting game, but of course, the more popular the fighting game, the longer the course of this action shall take. Okay, so follow me on this. First 3 months, everyone's playing. Okay, everybody. So like let's talk about like Street Fighter for example. You got people who are playing that don't even play Street Fighter who are streaming and recording and posting Street Fighter content. Every anime player, every even Tekken players are playing Street Fighter. Even casuals who normally play Smash are also playing Street Fighter because before Smash was before Smash was a household name, Street Fighter was a household name, and Street Fighter's been around for 35 plus years, so that's bound to like encompass a lot of people, okay? Because even the thing that's special about Street Fighter is that a lot of people who aren't even hardcore fighting games players actually know what Street Fighter is. You can actually just point the average whoever non-gamer to Street Fighter and they might actually know what it is because it's been around that long. I think on my very first job interview at Costco, I actually told the boss at the time, I was like, yeah, I play fighting games like Street Fighter. And I'm pretty sure she knew what that was without knowing what fighting games are. Mm-hmm. So, but my story goes on here. First 3 months, everyone's playing the game. Doesn't matter who you are. And then after that, we call it the honeymoon phase, okay? This is a fighting game lifespan. After those 3 months are over, only the tried and true likers of the game will continue to play the game. So, take me for example. I actually like Street Fighter, but for me, I don't know if it's going to be like my main game because I like tag fighters and I like getting away with shenanigans I shouldn't be. How did I get along in Marvels for so long? How did I continue to play BBTAG for 5 years straight and still be having fun with it, huh? So stuff like that. So that's after the honeymoon phase. And then a year down the line, other games are gonna come out, whether they're fighting games or non-fighting games. You might even there's gonna be a really big drop off after honeymoon phase and year phase. But Street Fighter is so big, it's special in that its success is almost always guaranteed, even on the games where it's not as great, like say 5. Street Fighter 4 was successful because that was at EVO for 8 years straight, if I'm not mistaken. It was from 2008 or 9 to 2016 or 2015. It was like 7 or 8 years. That's a long time. Marvel 3, 2011 all the way to this year. But then there were a few off years, so it wasn't as clean as your average Street Fighter game. Yeah, you sure got me talking. I am one of the few products of the arcade fighting game history, I suppose. Though, to be fair, I didn't appear at not Final Fantasy, Family Fun Arcade until a little bit later on. I didn't start going until like 2005. My active years at Family Fun are like from 2004 actually, or 2005. I would say late 2004. Something like that. It was when Tekken 5.1 was just new. And that became Tekken 5 DR. So that was easily 2004. 2005 sounds more right, because in 2003 I started high school. 2004 was when I started playing Tekken. But basically, I'm trying to say is I've been around fighting games for a long time, and so I kind of know how things go. So Tekken's also another special, a special beast, because it's one of the only 3D fighting games that can coexist with a similar popularity as Street Fighter, though it's kind of existed in its own little space. Because I think while Street Fighter is the more known fighting game, Tekken is probably the more I think it evolved a little bit faster than Street Fighter in my opinion, because it stayed 3D and it updated its look to stay current with its times a lot better in my opinion. Because by Tekken 5, it was looking like a really good game, and that game was on PS2. That game looked so clean. Compared to Street Fighter 4 in 2008, it kind of looked It looked kind of absurdly cartoony for what it was, but it was still a good game. So I just think Tekken looked better. I would say Tekken in terms of visuals looked better than Street Fighter, but in terms of popularity, Street Fighter would always have the upper hand on it. Not saying they were competing against each other. Yeah, yeah. Tekken, I wouldn't say it's my favorite. If there's anything that Tekken is of my favorite of, it's that it's my favorite to watch. It is my favorite fighting game to watch for sure. I think the player dynamics and the slow-mos add for a really good watch, whether you're casual or you're watching it like it's a, esports. They've really made it understandable for the casual viewer to understand. I think with BBTAG, I think I only understand it because I understand crazy fast games. Okay? So when you're running into people who I guess you would consider better than yourself, like I consider a good handful of players better than me. Not saying I'm a gatekeeper, but I can at least get top 8 in these things. So I think I'm decent enough for that. But back when these things had more people in it and there were like a lot of hard killers, there's still killers in it, but I can usually hold my own against basically everyone up to a certain point. Enough to make top 8, so that's all I care about. At least in BBTAG ESLs. But Tekken, yeah. Tekken, I want it to be my main game again, but I don't really know how likely that is. I want to take Tekken 8 more seriously than the average 2D fighter, because ever since I've been on anime and Marvel, like the tag fighter is still my go-to fighter. So unless Tekken 8 really sways the way I like the game, then I will probably continue to still be a tag fighter main. So that means either continue playing what I already play, or hop on Project L when that comes out and see what damage I can do in that game. Because to be honest, I don't really care about League of Legends as a franchise. I care more about it being a tag game. That's my honest opinion. Yeah. I should call this video fighting game spiel from an arcade goer. So being from that era, it did kind of bring up a lot of I wouldn't say it was a harsh environment, but it was an environment where you certainly didn't want to look like you were on the lower end of the totem pole. Like in Tekken, especially like 5, I always brag that I was like, yeah, I'm a young Jin player. Yeah. I was only using him because I think he was toned down dramatically from 4 to 5, so I thought he was a more fair character by that. And then so I thought, like, okay, he must be fair and honest. And I think Tekken 5 Jin actually was very fair and honest. He wasn't by any means broken. He didn't have an unblockable launcher like he did in 4. But I had my fair share of losses, but I had a good fair share of like wins too. Some like high profile wins. Like there was a team tournament where he wasn't the best player at the time, but he was one of the better players who won tournaments regularly. His name was Arario. That's on my YouTube. I gotta post that video for like nostalgia purposes. But it was a team tournament, and I was the leader of my team, and he was the leader of their team. I forgot who was on his team, but they had both lost, and I was the last one up against him. And like, all I know is I hear at the end of it, Rick's cheering for me, Royal motherfucking Flush. I was like, oh shit. I remember that. I was there. I remember bragging about it at high school when I was still in high school at the time, so it was a good time. But yeah, I think there's fun to be had with a lot of fighting games. It's just, I think finding communities for it is a little bit harder now, because, so with BBTAG, I think what's special about BBTAG is that I played a greater amount of it offline than I did online. And at the time when I was playing it online, I actually still hated online fighting games. So, for lack of a better phrase here, I think BBTAG was the one that actually made me tolerate online fighting games for playing in these. you know, because excuse me, I'm not getting choked up here. It's just hot. A lot of fighting games didn't have the best netcode, so there was a push for having better netcode in future fighting game releases. So BBTAG like was an unusual front runner. Oh no! Hey, I didn't tell you to use Gordo. To be fair though, I did see like Gordo's her boxes are like they look big and then they're not big. But what was I getting at? Oh yeah, BBTAG was special in the fact that I played a greater amount of it offline, but it made me appreciate online fighting games because it got online rollback. So it went from fighting game with bad netcode to being one of the better fighting games with amazing netcode. Like I think the only time netcode is bad is when someone's on wireless connection. So I would say leave it to BBTAG, and I think when Arxis was on its reign of supremacy, when kind of Street Fighter V was like kind of more quiet, Arxis really helped push things along for rollback, and so that's why now Street Fighter 6 has rollback netcode. And now I think on top of that has a whole slew of other good what do you call it? User friendly interface. Well, okay, the menus are a little funky, but at least you can see if your opponent is playing on a wired or wireless connection. What else can you see? You can see frame data for free at no cost. The lobby system's pretty good if you make an avatar. I haven't made an avatar yet, but you can get paired up in matches pretty quickly. What else? But yeah, I would say BBTAG's important in the fact that it was a part of making the world a better place for fighting games. Yeah, because of rollback. But then if you go Google search like early BBTAG, I have to be honest, it didn't have the best track record. People complained about its DLC practices and that majority of the cast was locked up as DLC, and they still are. It's just now you can find the game way cheaper, and it shouldn't really be that much of a problem anymore. The only thing is that now that it has rollback, it's basically the game is what it is now. There's really no changing it. It's basically in the end game phase. I should probably add this special phase to fighting games. After the years of being around for a while, all fighting games reach an end game phase, which is where basically at this point you should know what is good in the fighting game. What's like either whether the character or what's a cheap mechanic, or players who are knowingly good and you are likely to face them in bracket. So end game phase. Yeah. Hope you don't mind me sharing all this spiel about fighting games, Roberto. But thanks for following earlier. But I mean, I've had my good fair share of experiences with fighting games, so I feel like it's a good time to like just talk about it. So yeah, BBTAG is actually, I think a lot of people will not give it credit for doing what it did, because I'm still playing it. I'm just not really doing anything new with it. It's one of my mainstream games. I like BBTAG ESL because it pays out fairly consistently and it's fun. It gives me a reason. Is that over? Okay, at least they're still playing. Come on, you got this. I wish there was a way I could watch. No! Did you try pairing it up with, like, Ruby or something? Or did you stay, Yosuke? Oh, cool, thanks. You see, I can talk about... As long as I have, like, if you give me a topic and I actually know about it, then I can talk about it. At least Kanji does a shit ton of damage. His 5B goes really... They actually have the same 5B, except Gordo has other moves like Grim Reaper. Kanji just has grab shenanigans that if they don't know what they're doing, then you should be doing whatever Kandi do. But at least he's plus on chair, whatever. Yeah. Say it ain't so, man. Say it ain't so. Okay, well, according to this, it still shows you're in it. So I'm guessing, unless this hasn't updated yet, it looks like it. They just like, let's murder this move. This version of Gordo reminds me a lot of Tatsunoko versus Capcom Karas, where in the very first version of their game, they're godlike and amazing. You could pair Karas with the popular team in vanilla Tatsunoko versus Capcom was Karas Ryu, and the reason Karas was so good was because his top 5B, it reached so far and had really high priority. And then his moves actually looped into, he had a fully chargeable unblockable move, forward a 6C, and if you charged it, it's a restand crumple, and then you would be able to convert off of it with Baroque. Baroque. I haven't watched Bill's streams in a while. Your mother. Baroque. But yeah, Gordo shares a similar fate, where his mid-range button, or his long-range button, I should say, let's just call it standing medium, or 5C or 5B, was a godlike button. But what was even more godlike about Gordo was actually a system mechanic. They made it so that was it EX Grim Reaper or even regular Grim Reaper, you couldn't touch them on an active switch, so there were parts of it that were invincible. So that gave you a full screen, essentially a full screen invincible lockdown move, which is unheard of. You have lockdown now in this game, it's just not unstoppable. Yep. Unless your name is Adachi. You know what? There were no Adachis today, were there? 0 Adachis. Though there was Yumi. There was certainly Yumi. And I didn't lose to Yami no Katamari. It was... I could have ran into Tecto Yumi, but I didn't. I'm just waiting for this to refresh itself. Oh yeah? Oh man. Say it ain't so. Okay, well that's that.